How many times have you set yourself up to go to the gym and you wake up in the morning and your mind says, I'm going to the gym, but your body feels tired, feels warm. So you say, I will stay, and you end up not going to the gym. Yes, today I'm going to share with you what it means to have the battlefield between the mind and the body. What does this mean? Most of the time, we have big goals and dreams we want to achieve. But guess what? That battlefield between the mind and body stops us from going after our goals and dreams. So what's this inner conflict? This inner conflict is where the mind sets big goals and dreams, and it says, this is my goal and dream that I'm going after. But when the time comes to execute, the body says, I'm tired. I can't be bothered. Let's start tomorrow. And then this cycle goes on and over and over and over, and you end up not achieving your goals and dreams. This battlefield between the mind and the body is faced by every single person. So my question is, how would you overcome this battle between your mind and your body? There's so many ways. But first and foremost, let's start with the power of your mind. I want you to utilize the power of your mind by realizing that what you set your mind to, you'll be able to follow it up. Where your mind goes, your body will follow. Let me share an example. Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He never wanted to go training. He was one of the hardest trainers out there. He was always training. He was the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. You know why? Because he understood. He didn't care what his body said to him. All he cared about was what his mind was going through. So he knew that the body would be tired, but he knew if he pushed through, he'll be able to overcome those challenges. So I want you to know that your mind is so powerful that you could ever begin to imagine. So what the other way that you can win this battlefield between the mind and the body? When you set your goal, ask yourself, why? Why have I set this goal? We've all heard that saying. The greater the why, the more you push through. The greater the why, the more you persist. The greater the why, the more you find ways to overcome any obstacle that's presented against you. So I want you to realize that your why is the most important thing towards overcoming that battlefield between your mind and your body. So when you set yourself a goal, ask yourself, why? The stronger the why, the more you'll be compelled to follow through. The stronger the why, the more you'll be able to go through that challenge, even when all the obstacles seem insurmountable. Tactic number 3 is discipline over feelings. What does this mean? See, you gotta realize that for you to overcome the battlefield between your mind and your body is to choose discipline over feelings all the time. And let me share an example. What happens when you set up to go to that fitness exercise that you want to stay fit and pursue? What happens when you wake up in the morning? Your body feels tired and you don't want to go out. This is why you have to choose discipline. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. This is the goal. This is the discipline. This is the action that I set to achieve every single day. And that's exactly what I'm going to go and achieve. Do you know what's funny is, today when I was in the gym, today before I went to the gym, my body felt so tired. I didn't feel like going up, but guess what? I said, I'm just going to choose discipline over my feelings. We all know if you rule over your feelings, you'll be able to overcome anything, because most of the time, our feelings will deceive us. They will say, I don't feel like doing it. That's one of the most common phrases. I don't feel like it. And this is why you have to answer back and say, yes, I don't feel like it, but my discipline doesn't care how I feel. Woo! That's so good. I don't know where that came from. Let me say that again. I don't feel like it, but my discipline doesn't care how my body feels. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I'm going to have to treat that. Okay. The next one is, I want you to train your mind to see your goals accomplished. Train your mind to see your goals accomplished. You know what's the thing all great achievers, especially all great athletes, do? Is they train their mind to see themselves on that finish line. They train their mind by visualizing the outcome as if it's already happened. Anyone that runs 100 meters, they visualize themselves on that finish line, being number one. So I want you to train your mind to see your goal as already achieved. Train your mind to see your goal already accomplished. Because when you do that, eventually, what you train your mind, your body will follow. So I want you to visualize, even if it's 5 minutes every single night before you go to bed, or 5 minutes when you wake up in the morning. Visualize that goal and dream. Visualize it. Feel it. How would you feel if you had accomplished your goal? How would I feel if I just hit 1,000 subscribers? Because that's what I'm aiming at. I can feel it in my body. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. As long as I keep putting out these weekly videos, it's bound to happen. So for you to overcome that battlefield between your mind and body, I want you to train yourself, visualize your goal every single day, 7 days a week, until you see it come to fruition. With this, you'll be able to overcome the battlefield between your mind and your body. Next tactic is, I want you to win with micro victories. Micro wins will lead to macro wins. So for you to overcome the battlefield of the mind, start small. Baby steps, baby wins, baby victories will lead to that giant victory, or that macro win, like someone calls it. The micros will lead to the macro. The minis will lead to the max. So I want you to train your mind through small victories. Win with those tiny wins. See, when you lose those small victories, eventually they will turn into big victories. And that thing that you saw as small, as big, will turn into small. If you, like the Chinese proverb says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single footstep. If you're going to run a marathon, how do you run a marathon? Step by step, mile by mile. But you don't just jump to the end of the marathon. And that last tactic is on accountability and environment. For you to win that battlefield of the mind, which is not going to be easy, surround yourself with people with similar goals. Surround yourself with people who've already accomplished what you want to accomplish, because they'll be able to help you overcome those challenges between your mind and your body. They will have gone through the hoops that you're going to face. So I want you to seek someone who you know is going to hold you accountable. Those moments we don't feel like it, your colleague will be able to pull you up and say, you know what, get out of bed, let's go to the gym. but you gotta set up those accountabilities. So those are the tactics I wanted to share with you on how to overcome the battlefield of the mind. Please do me a favor, comment, subscribe, and help me reach 1,000 subscribers. It can be inspired, and as always, I'll remind you, for you to overcome the battlefield of the mind and body, it's on you. Have a great weekend.